I'm really excited to have this opportunity to share important information about the PhD program in clinical and population health research with an emphasis on that which cannot be gleaned by reading a website or our flyers. So we're hoping that by the end of our hour together, that you'll walk away with a deep understanding of our passion to training the next generation of scientists poised to be highly competitive for dream jobs in industry, the academy, or government. So we recognize that there are many pathways to achieve the same goal, career goals, and we hope tonight you will see our program as one that provides a supportive learning community in which all boats rise together. This is who we are, and the success of our students proves that doctoral training can be incredibly powerful and an empowering experience. Before I get started, I wanted to encourage you to send questions to us through the chat room as you have them during the presentation. And then instead of answering them immediately, we'll save those for the question and answer session after the breakout. So here's what we're going to talk about tonight. First and foremost, I'm going to give you a brief overview of the PhD program with the goal of helping you understand more about our students, our approach to doctoral training, and about UMass as an institution of excellence and commitment to conducting science that makes a difference. Then we'll randomly assign you to breakout rooms with a faculty doctoral student pair or recent graduate from one Deb Mack who's on the call. Faculty will let you get to know a little bit more about themselves and their commitment to doctoral training, and the students will share their stories of their time at UMass. And we hope that these small group sessions will allow you to learn more about us than words on a website or that I could explain to you. When we come back together, I'll briefly review the admissions process so that you can get to know what to expect, and then we'll wrap up with a Q&A. Before we get into the nuts and the bolts of our doctoral training program, I wanted to take a moment to make you aware that from day one, this is what we're about in the Department of Population and Quantitative Health Sciences. Our vision is health and well-being for all through science, community engagement, and education. Our mission is to generate knowledge and innovative and evaluate approaches to improving health. And this stems from our values. We conduct science that actually makes a difference. We're committed to social justice. We train people to love learning so much that many of you will become lifelong learners, curious about the world around you. We firmly believe in the benefits of collective creativity, and we understand that the questions and approaches to answering the vexing problems facing the world right now will be different and far superior with a diverse and inclusive scientific workforce. So with our vision, our missions, and our values in mind, we created and implemented the doctoral program in clinical and population health. This slide summarizes what I find most students are really curious about. So who's in the program? What is this program? And what do students do after they finish the program? And I would say the one thing that differentiates our program from other PhD programs in a discipline like epidemiology or biostatistics is that we tend to attract students with different life experiences and trajectories. Some of our students have completed a master's degree in public health or a master's degree in epi or in a related field. Others come to us with clinical training under their belt. Some have come straight through with no work experience, and others have worked for a while in a research setting before deciding they want to pursue their doctorate. The result is a wonderful mixture of different experiences and expertise, and that enriches our cohort. We find strength in this diversity of perspectives. Now, the middle block summarizes the elements of our doctoral program, which falls under the umbrella titled Supportive Educational Environment. We foster a strong sense of community, more on this later. We've developed a competency-based curriculum that defines what students need to succeed and assures there are opportunities in the curriculum to help students develop the skills and knowledge to be competitive for their dream job. And at the end of the day, our program delivers. Our trainees are securing the jobs that they want, be it in the academy, government, industry. They are highly competitive because most complete the degree with an impressive CV, with multiple publications, and the success rate of student grants is quite spectacular. So now let's go into each of these areas alone, one by one. So should you matriculate in our program, who will be your classmates? Everyone wants to know who their friends are going to be, right? So about a third of the current student body are in the MD PhD program. 3 students in our CPHR program found their way to us via our NIH-funded post-baccalaureate program. The remaining students have either an MPH or an MS or a clinical degree, with or without work experience. So overall, 68% of our students are women, about 1/4 are international students, and nearly half are underrepresented in the biomedical sciences, which NIH defines as racial ethnic minorities, people with disabilities, or people who have experienced social disadvantage. Our students, some are parents, some are veterans, some have had careers and are returning to school to pivot to new roles. The diversity and inclusiveness of our program is a strength, and it's important to UMass. And you'll see that demonstrated by the multiple groups, diversity interest groups, and our NIH-funded diversity training grant that offers enhanced mentoring and many extra seminars. So, what is the supportive educational environment? The foundation that we provide comes from a carefully crafted competency-based curriculum. Our faculty work together to define the competencies necessary for students to succeed in their field. We have balanced required coursework in epidemiology and biostatistics, research ethics, and grant writing with what we call selectives. So these selectives are in theory and methods and a substantive area. And the selectives are picked with your mentors to align well with your career goals and your research interest area. With this approach, students are able to tailor their curriculum so that they can grow in ways that make sense for their careers. So having a student-centric, flexible curriculum works because of our dedicated faculty who are committed to mentoring students and helping them make good choices for their career. They get to know who you are, what your goals are, and can advise you on a strategy to well position yourself for the career you desire. Reflective of our firm belief in collective creativity, we believe in team mentoring models, where students are supported by faculty who bring complementary areas of expertise to the students' research. At UMass, all boats rise together. How do we do this? Well, within our classes, students often work in study groups. They serve as peer reviewers of each other's work. Students learn to work in teams, and we actually have a class in team science to help students hone their collaborative skills and their leadership skills. For major evaluation milestones, you'll see that students come together for practice sessions, offering suggestions on how their science can be better and how they can communicate what they've done to broad audiences. We know that our students will go further if they collaborate. So you'll see that students in our program do not compete with each other for funding or opportunities. Rather, you see that they help each other. We host panels for students who have successfully completed milestones in the program, and they pay it forward. They share their experiences, their advice, their lessons learned to the next group of students. Grants are shared, help is given, and I have to say, I'm most proud of the willingness of our students to support each other in their graduate education. And lastly, our curriculum has been designed to work synergistically with the research enterprise. And what do I mean by this? I mean that within classes, students bring the challenges that they are experiencing from their research assistantships into the classroom. And then they bring what they're learning, novel methods and approaches to thinking about the problems that they face, back out to the research team. So we've tried to reduce academic exercises and courses in favor of assignments geared to help you build your research portfolio. So doing so allows our students to publish more papers than just their dissertation work. And because we are a collaborative enterprise, students lead, co-author, and contribute to multiple projects during their time at UMass. Oops, I forgot to hit the buttons. Okay, sorry. All right, so where do our students end up? We have found that our approach to training doctoral students provides the rigorous didactic and hands-on experiences that set our students up for success in academic, government, or industry settings. From day one in our curriculum, we're helping students build their CVs that will open doors for them and create pathways to their dream jobs. Students who are eligible, they do, all of them, apply for federal funding, student-led grants, and we have extraordinary success rates. I mean, it's really quite impressive. Students publish science that makes a difference early and often in their careers at UMass. They present at national and sometimes even international meetings. They seek out leadership roles in student chapters of professional societies, and they publish with their research teams and with each other. Along the way of developing the breadth and depth in their field of studies, students develop the soft skills so necessary to be successful in their careers. And it's important to note that we do all of this and have an average time to degree completion of 4 years. Okay, now that I've gushed a lot about our program, let me brag about UMass. Here's UMass by the numbers, and some of these numbers may be more important to people than others. What you really need to know is that we're a graduate campus only, so there are no undergraduates. There's a graduate school of biomedical sciences, school of nursing, and also the medical school. We have a robust and growing research enterprise ranking third in NIH funding among medical schools in New England. The breadth and depth of research in population and quantitative health sciences is impressive, and you will hear directly from those engaged in the research enterprise in a few minutes. So UMass is invested in the success of their doctoral students. There's a generous stipend of at least $31,850. Every year they set that, what it is in April. There's health insurance and optional dental and vision insurance at no cost. With 20 days, they're academic break days. They don't call them vacation because you're students, not employees. And in addition to 13 UMass holidays, the Department of Population and Quantitative Health Sciences has a variety of rich data resources, and also they have active community engagement that's authentic. And many of our students choose that path for their research. We have we have several NIH funded training grants, and many of our students get highly competitive slots for these institutional training grants. In addition, UMass has library, gym, Center for Mindfulness, and other opportunities for our students to thrive. I would be remiss if I didn't have a separate slide for what I consider a gem in the crown at UMass. And we're really lucky because we have Dr. Cynthia Furman, who has led the Center for Biomedical Career Development. She's a national thought leader on professional development for graduate students. And regardless of the type of career that you're moving to, you're going to need some of these skills. And this center has the resources available, and they have explicit training to help you explore career options. So we're incredibly fortunate to have this center and its resources for our students. And it's really something that's quite unique. Lastly, UMass isn't the only great thing about Worcester. There are theaters and museums and parks and open space. So we're close to the beach, not the beach behind me, but Cape Cod and Rhode Island, close to skiing. There are lots of hiking trails and biking trails. And just ask anybody about Shrewsbury Street, because there are some fabulous restaurants in Worcester that you can explore. It's a little bit of a sore spot showing this baseball field, though, because I'm from Rhode Island, and Worcester basically stole the Pawtucket Red Sox, and so now it's in Worcester. So, and it's really fun to go see games. I will tell you. Hopefully, by now, you're like, where do I sign up? And if so, here's some information if you're still interested in us. The applications are due on March 1st, but don't wait, because we review and make offers ongoing. Like we get batches, and we talk to folks as they come in. Um, you have to make a decision by April 15th, and that's, I think, the standard date for all graduate schools. So the application has a few components. It's an application form with demographics, um, the personal statement. Really, what we're looking for here is your experience. Show us that you know a little bit more about our research, because that's really important for us. We want to make sure we're the right place for you to do the type of research you're interested in. And helping, if you talk to somebody, or like, oh, I love Stephanie Lemon's research or Kate LePan's research, then that helps me, because we try to get you time with the people you're interested in doing research with. So when we're scheduling interviews, um, and what your motivation is for study. Um, we do look at your transcripts, and what we're trying to assess from them are your preparedness for the CPHR curriculum. We're most of our students are postmasters, so we're trying to see if you've got epi training and biostat training. There have been times that I'll suggest somebody take a class if they can over the spring semester. If we're like, okay, it looks like you may need a little more quantitative training or some exposure to epidemiology. I will say that our program starts on July 1st, and we've designed, we call it the boot camp, which is kind of a strange term to use, but it is kind of full immersion into an epi biostat integrated curriculum. And so we do that to try to help people get prepared for the fall semester. So we, just to say, okay, here's a taste of what it's like, and to help review some of the material that's expected for the fall. And then your letters of recommendation would be great if you have people who know you've done research with, to write and support, or people who can speak to the attributes that we're looking for in successful candidates. So what are we looking for? We're looking at your scientific preparation, like what have you done so far? Have you had any research experiences? Sometimes students have public health experiences, more than real researchy type work, and that's okay. Um, we're looking holistically at what you've been doing so far. We are checking and hoping to see your problem solving skills. And do you have the grit? Do you know what I mean? Because nothing's easy. I will tell you, in graduate, it's not like it's smooth sailing. You're going to come up against ideas that bomb, or and you've got to be able to handle that. Like, and how do you overcome that? Okay, and we often find that people who do well in our classes, in our program, they're goal oriented. Like we're facilitators of their success. Do you know what I mean? But they're kind of naming the things that they really want to master. And then we also love, we're looking at these other attributes: resilience, self-awareness, leadership, communication. When I say self-awareness, I'm thinking, so if you're like, oh, I'm not really good at public speaking, then you don't avoid that. You try to conquer it. Like we'll give you some opportunities to help you build confidence in that area. So that's kind of a level of maturity that goes well. And we also really need to make sure that the research interests that you have are well aligned with what we do, with our research strengths, because we want to make sure that you don't have to worry about funding. Like if you come, that we know we have a robust research program that will support the types of things that you're interested in doing.